Partial fractions is another method of integration that you guys are going to need to use. And it's not too difficult, but many of you guys probably forgot how to do it since algebra. So basically, when we have an integral of some fraction, what we're going to do is take the partial fraction of the integrand, and then we're going to integrate all those pieces. So let's go ahead and do that. So 6 over x squared minus 1 is your integrand. And the first thing we need to do is to factor the denominator. So we can factor out, or we can look at that, it's a difference of squares. So 6 over x plus 1 times x minus 1. So there are two different pieces in our denominator. So we're going to have to rewrite this as some constant over the first part plus another constant over the second piece. And we're doing this when both of the pieces have a power of 1. So x plus 1 has a power of 1, and x minus 1 has a power of 1, so we just have a constant over the first part plus a constant over the second part. In the next videos, we'll go over what to do when you don't have a power of 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by this whole denominator. So on the left side, we just get 6. And on the right side, we get a over x plus 1 times x plus 1, x minus 1, plus b over x minus 1 times x plus 1, x minus 1. And what's going to happen is that lots of terms are going to cancel out, and we get that 6 is equal to a times x minus 1 plus b times x plus 1. So now we have one equation, but with these two constants that are unknown. And to figure these out, what we're going to do is pick numbers for x that'll get rid of one of these variables. So if we let x equal 1, then on the left side we still have 6 times a times, 1 minus 1 is just 0, plus b times 1 plus 1. So the a cancels out, and we get 2b equals 6, and b is equal to 3. And likewise, we could either just plug this 3 back into it and then choose any number for x, or we could just pick x equal to -1. So if we let x equals -1, let me write that better. If we let x equals -1, well then we get 6 times -1 minus 1 is -2, so we get 6 equals a times -1 minus 1 is equal to -2, plus b times -1 plus 1, which is 0, and this b term cancels out, and we get 6 equals -2a, and a is equal to -3. So now what we have to do is go back up here, and we're gonna rewrite this part with our new a and b values. So we have a and b. So I'm just going to rewrite what we had here. I'm rewriting this part. So we have 6 over x plus 1 times x minus 1, and that was just our integrand in the question, is equal to a over x plus 1 plus b over x minus 1. And we just figured out that b is equal to 3 and a is equal to -3. So we can rewrite that using those constants. A is equal to -3 plus b is equal to 3, and we just plugged in our values for an a and b into there. So that was our integrand, and we were looking for the integral of this, and that's going to equal taking the integral of this side, so we're setting that equal to the integral of this side. It's going to be the integral of -3 over x plus 1 plus 3 over x minus 1, and dx is both in there. So now this isn't too hard of a question. Well, we just have the integral of two different pieces. So let's look at the first piece. The integral of -3 over x plus 1 is, well, if we take out the -3, then we get the integral of 1 over x plus 1, which is the natural log of x plus 1. And we're adding that to, once again, take out the 3. And we have the integral of 1 over x minus 1, which is the natural log of x minus 1. Plus a constant, since we didn't have any limits. And we can factor out a 3, and we get 3 times the natural log of, I'm going to write this term first so that you guys can see this next step easier. The natural log of x minus 1 minus the natural log of x plus 1 plus a constant. And if you guys remember your log rules, the log of a minus b is equal to the log of a is equal to the log of a plus b. So log of a minus log of b is equal to log of a over b. So we have 3 times the natural log of x minus 1 over x plus 1 plus a constant. And that's it. So in the next video we'll go over how to do one of these problems where one of these parts doesn't have a power of 1 but has a power of 2.